That looks pretty good. Let's see. Is it got to go up a little more or down? Up, down. Perfect. I'll check it to see, and then I'll monitor it. We're live. Welcome everybody on YouTube. Live from the Scotchy Bourbon Boys podcast studios. Tonight we're doing chicken cock. I got my chicken cock from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, the Reserve Cask. Me and CT were on that podcast. So let me just get everything running and I'll get this ready to go. Bear with me. It's 8:30. Thanks everybody on Facebook for chiming in. And let's get this show on the road. Where is it? Okay, there you go. We're going to make sure. I got to just make sure that there's audio on the YouTube. Here we go. It's saying we're live. There we go. Let's turn this up. On the road. Where is it? Okay, there you go. All right. I got to just make sure that there's audio on the YouTube. That's working. So I'll hit that again. All right. There we go. You can see I will keep this chicken cock hat on for the start of the podcast. Let's see. Welcome to live. Welcome everybody to the podcast. Oh, sure. Don't do that. Podcast. All right. We're live, Facebook, YouTube. I send out my little welcome. There we go. I'm going to monitor the YouTube. I don't know what it's going to be. This is we're ready to go on Thursdays, so we're going to be live on Thursdays. I can see myself on there. I think that's going. Whiskey Thief. You're welcome, Jeffrey Mueller. That's it. Yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you here. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that a little bit about the weekend. All right. So what I got to do is get this ready to roll. That's one thing I should have done. Here, I'll do it now. Just real quick. Let's go to. Let's see. What's on my mind? No, I don't want. What's the return? Nope. Let's just turn that off. What is going on? Undo. I don't want what's on my mind. I want the. I don't want to create. There we go. We'll put that up there. And we'll put this here. Get that. All right, we're live. Share. Not. Yep. Share. Messenger. Walter. Send. All right. So let's go back to Facebook. Back up. All right. YouTube. Yes, we're ready to go on YouTube. All right. So the way I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to wear the. I've come up with. We've come up with a lot of different things, and we'll explain that once we get going on the podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit start. You're going to have a 30 45 seconds of silence, and then I will play the theme song. What just happened? What's going on? All right. Woo! Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We give it a while, it sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking everything. Man, it's all sunshine, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Raisins in hell, making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're here to have fun and hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun. All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're in our 400s and going strong. Remember, as if you're going to listen to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we need you to like, listen, subscribe, leave good feedback. It means a lot to us. So if you're listening on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or X, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And then also, if you are listening on the podcast formats, Apple, iHeart, uh, or Spotify, please go and leave good feedback. Get our numbers up. Give us 5-star ratings if you like what you hear. All right, tonight is a special podcast. I see that Greg Schneider's watching. Whiskey Thief Distilling's watching. We are going to be down in Bards or in the Frankfurt area, Frankfurt, Lexington area this weekend for Bourbon on the Banks. And we're really excited to be there. Our new sponsor, Whiskey Thief, is also sponsoring the kickoff event that's happening tonight, that was happening tonight at Whiskey Thief Distillery. Fantastic distillery out there. And then also, also they are hosting the VIP event tomorrow night, and they will be at Bourbon on the Banks. And I believe there will be some thieving from the barrel if you stop by their booth. Last year was fantastic. I plan to hang out there a little bit more than I did last year because thieving from the booth is really kind of a fantastic, fun thing. Thieving from the barrel at the booth is a fantastic thing to do. Whiskey Thief is basically barrel pick all day long, every day of the week. So you got to check them out if you get there. Yes, highly possible, they say. And then Super Nash, he's watching. Good to see you, Super Nash. Our hearts go out to you, man. He hasn't had power. The hurricane ripped through South Carolina where he's at. He was very, very lucky when it comes to down trees on his property. The damage that they did was minimal. It didn't hit his house or his cars, but his friends and neighbors and other parts of his families weren't so lucky, and he has been working hard and diligent to help them. There's no water, no electricity since last, I want to say it was Friday, since last Friday. And although he wasn't going to be coming to uh, the Bourbon on the Banks this year, and I know he desperately wanted to, he wouldn't have been able to anyways with what's been going on. He's running everything on a generator, and he basically has to keep that going. And then he also has to be supplying the water for what the necessities. And so it's been a lot of water and generator and gas. and he worked the week through it. So hearts out to you, brother. We love you. Uh, we're gonna miss you this weekend. So also with Bourbon on the Banks, very exciting festival. This is a place where if you haven't tasted a distillery's lineup or it's a new distillery, this is where you can go and with no pressure or anything, taste what you want. It's a one day, it lasts, it starts, but the actual festival is Saturday from 1 to 6, and there's a twilight pass for a couple hours there. I mean, they the creativity of this festival and the growth of this festival has been fantastic. But one of the strengths of the festival, it's on right on the river there in Frankfurt. You're right along the walkway to that park that where you're on the river. So it's supposed to be spectacular weather. We have a 10 by 10 Scotchy Bourbon Boys tent. We'll be running around grabbing footage. We did this the last couple years. Last year we were there. This year it's going to be hopefully whiskey, myself, CT, and Roxy manning that tent, podcasting live. We will have merchandise. We will have our Scotchy Bourbon Boys Glen Cairns. We will have our t-shirts and everything all available. So stop by the booth, say hi if you're not there. Frog Kill says he likes the setup on YouTube. And then um let's see what we got going here. So Walker, Martin, Greg. Yeah, Greg, tonight we are going to and a shout out to all that the chicken cock family distillery. It's just they've been doing a fantastic job. And when it comes to all the stuff that Greg had done, look for the interview that we did at the circa 1850, 1863, 1850. I suck at remembering the circa, but that is their tasting room in Bardstown. And we did an interview with Greg that turned out to be fantastic. There was a lot of yard work there, but 1856. Thank you, Walker. But with when we were doing with Greg, we thought it would be a part of it, but my microphones that I was using for that worked out well. I really upgraded the microphones this past couple weeks. Hopefully on YouTube and Facebook, you're noticing the difference. I'm basically using the cordless microphones for both, and they, as far as I can tell, the sound has upgraded from where we were. So I wanted to talk real quick about this past Saturday. This past Saturday, I'm going to give a shout out to everybody that was here. Steve and Matt from Cleveland on the Rocks came down, and then also Aaron brought Aaron Conkle, a really good friend of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, brought down two of his friends. It was Brian and Matt. And we had the first ever Scotchy Bourbon Boys tasting. And we tasted our barrel picks, which was the Lillian and the Dalton. We compared the Dalton to our past Dalton barrel pick. And then we also compared the Michter's 10 from this year and the Michter's 10 from last year on a tasting, along with a sensory challenge that I used to show how sweet, salty, fruity can change the taste of whiskey. So it was fantastic. These little tasting mats. If Jamie Jacobs is watching, I owe him a tasting mat similar, but I will be getting that to him soon. But it will be a Scotchy Bourbon Boys tasting match, and it will have samples. Hey, Adam, good to see you there. Let's see. Hi, are you interested? Nope, not we whiskey. That doesn't mean I'm not interested in yoga. I'm just don't do a lot of yoga. Sorry, man. And then so that gets us to what we're gonna do first. We'll do this. It's the Old Louisville Whiskey Company sponsored barrel bash. We barrel bash whiskeys. It's our rating system. The rating system has evolved over the years, but our barrel bash rating system is, and if I can, hopefully, some people can hear the bashing. It's like it's funny on Facebook you don't hear it on, so I vocalize it, but the system's based on four categories: taste, smell, body, and finish. When it comes to the smell and the body, you can give it up to four barrel bashes in the category. And then when it comes to the taste and the finish, you can give it up to five barrel bashes. But if there's one exquisite, exceptional category, you can give it a butt up for a total of five, which would give your score a perfect score would be 19 out of 18. We've broken the rules and given multiple butt ups and whatnot, but tonight we are going to be doing this chicken cock reserve cast strength. This is the pick from Distillers Row series from 2024 at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. One of the reasons why I'm barrel bashing it tonight is because one, I want to promote. This is a barrel that Greg Schneider, who popped in tonight and said hi, he basically is the master distiller there. He's been there long enough that what's in here is his actual distillate that he aged, uh, distilled and aged. So this is the cask strength version of it. I will give you, I'll give you this. It is 130.8 proof. It's well, yeah, that's not fair. It is yeah, 130.8 proof, and it is 6 years old. This is his. Uh, when we tasted through the barrels, this was a fantastic barrel pick, because as we tasted through, there wasn't a bad barrel in the batch. It was just an amazing pick. Me and CT went down. We did this pick with Lisa Roper Wicker. So there's a master distiller there. We did it with Greg Schneider. He came as a guest for us. There's a master distiller there. We did it with Stacy Pritchard, and she basically was on 45 of these barrel picks this year. I mean, talk about somebody who tastes and knows good whiskey. And then Steve Coombs, who a writer and whiskey critic from Louisville. So we're really talking about a panel that was quite spectacular, as far as this goes. It was a hard pick because so many of them all four of them that we tasted were good. We eliminated one on too sweet and there it just the reasons why we eliminated them. uh no, it's not half gone. I did let people at the tasting try this, and we did open this up last week, I believe, on the podcast. But it's what it is. The whiskey's made to be opened and shared. So I need to get a whiskey, Glencairn, real quick. I don't know why all my Glencairns. Oh, I do know why, because we packed them all. Hold on, I'm gonna quick run over, folks. Grab a Glen. It's always good when you do a podcast. But remember, this barrel bash is sponsored by the old Louisville whiskey company. Amin there it's a spectacular thing he's got going there. His story is great. You should check him out at Old Louisville Whiskey Company.com. And So make sure, like I said, you when you're in the Louisville area, look up Old Louisville Whiskey Company and make sure you stop by. Uh, Once again, there's a lot of cool things that happened at his place. All right, so let's do the barrel bashing. We did the theory already. I must have screwed up something on that. Uh, I don't know why, but I did. There should be more than this. I bet you I didn't make it. Well, I suppose. And what did it say? Hold on, I'm checking something out. Contains contents known type video interesting when finishing videos that refer personal information. Was this helpful? Overview, expand YouTube partner. No. What is going on? Okay, welcome to the chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Abide the community guidelines. Learn more. Okay, it's Scotchy Bourbon Boys. I don't understand. I'm going to check some things out. Description, view channel, live chat, chat filter, captions quality, like. Interesting. Something's going on YouTube that shouldn't have. I'd have no idea. Usually we have a lot more people watching, but all right. So there we go. I poured myself a little bit of this. This has been open for about a week now. So I like one of the things I love to do is make sure that uh that once the bottle's been open, to let it settle or let it there's got to be a word for it. Um, uh, there is, but I don't have it. So there you go. Um, so let's get right into this. I don't know. Walker said he had fresh crack. This pick is kind of like I said, it's special to me. I'm not gonna, although we got a head start on it, but one of the cool things is you got the jigger caps, you got the awesome bottle that is authentic to the brand. Spectacular. This when you're when you're drinking chicken cock, not only are you getting a quality whiskey, but you're also getting excellent the whole package. It's like you get the amazing bottle, you get the jigger cap, you got the I mean just the experience. It's kind of what I'm in bourbon for. So this reserve cast, their reserves casts are fantastic also, but it was great to have Greg on this pick directly. So when I nose this, and I'm going to use my old Louisville tasting board that I picked up there. It's pretty cool. And one of the cool things about it is below it tells you all the different flavors that you pick up based off of the different things. So it's very, very helpful. So I like to bring that in for this right now. So on the nose, right off the bat, it's just uh, the big Kentucky whiskey bourbon experience. There's this one is very heavy brown sugar. That is so weird. Vanilla and some red licorice. That's what I'm picking up here. Now, at 130 proof, this definitely is nosing. This is nosing at 130 proof. There is some heat on this on your nose, stinging your nostril. Some ethanol happening. All right, here we go. It's like a caramel milk dud in the glass. If you take this and you roll it, one of the great things about Glencairn's is you can put it on its side and then just roll it around that glass. Pick her up, and then you look at these unbelievable it sticks to the side of that glass, and then all of a sudden you're going to see it break free. That is amazing how thick that is. But when it breaks free into, it's going to break free all of a sudden into these long legs. This is a barrel strength at a level. It's fantastic. Favorite restaurant in Floyd's Knob in Indiana tonight, and it was once again sure. Yeah, thanks, Greg. That is my favorite restaurant, and you dine there, and I'm sure Al made you something fantastic. Oh, back to the nose. The mouth and the body is just amazing on this. The mouth feel, and then it's just weird what my palate's doing tonight. I'm getting a milk dud, caramel, chocolate milk dud. Now I'm trying to see with a little bit of pepper. But it does okay. So what it's doing, very unique finish. Not a strong one, but it's long. All right. So let's get back to the barrel bashing. I'm going to try and do this. Oh, I tried, but I failed many times. All right. So when it comes to the nose, I can give it up to a 4. On this, I like this nose, but at 130, the ethanol's a little strong for me. So I'm going to go to a 3 of 4 on the nose. Bam, bam, bam. Then the body, though, is going to catch this bourbon up. It lights up my tongue, under my tongue, the roof of my mouth, and my cheeks with milk duds to, I should be looking. Oh, it's leather. That's what it is. It has a leathery finish. For sure. This is a good one to watch football and baseball because they both contain leather in them. So I'm going to give the body, I'm going to give it a 4 and a but up. But up. So it's bam, 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 but up. So I don't know if you guys on Facebook, Walker, can you are you able to pick up the barrel bashing at all? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I have no idea. It might be again, it could be because we do this the what you call it through Zoom. All right, so just doesn't make sense why there's not anybody watching tonight. It's just all right. It just by are you interested in okay. Hi. Lovely setup. Thanks. Okay. So we're looking that is just totally interesting. So that brings me back to a perfect score because I gave the one a little bit less. So let's talk about the taste. We can give the taste up to a 5. I would give this taste I'm going to give the taste a 4. Bam, 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 bam. 4. The reason why I say that, because although I think for a 5 for me, I would just like this to be a little bit sweeter as far as a 5. But as far as a bourbon and sipping, I mean, this is a absolute. This is a October, November, fall fireplace, fire pit bourbon. There is no doubt about it. It is a sipper at the definition. It's absolutely. I would love to have a cigar with this. So no, Nash. People are watching on Facebook. It's YouTube. You never share on YouTube. It's just bizarre. It's just usually we have hundreds of people watching, and there's just two or three. I have no idea what it is. I put it out there. There must be something in the settings I messed up. It's probably private. Yeah, but where does Frog Kit and where did they come from? Anyways, all right. So here we go. Let's do finish. Bourbon finishes for me. No, it's finishing sweet now. The sweetness just came through on that last one. A lot more caramel, a lot more chocolate, and the finish and a lot less leather. It must be my palate tonight. My palate must be kind of whacked because all of a sudden that last sip was way different. All right. So on the finish, I'm going to give it for a bourbon of this caliber. I'm going to give the finish a 5. The finish is long. Bam, 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 bam. The finish is long. It's got leather. It's got a little bit of milk chocolate, a little bit of caramel, but it lasts for a long time. The hug on this is the Kentucky hug on this particular bourbon transfers into the finish. It's crazy how long and warm that this bourbon. So that's a 4, a 5, and 9. So I gave it an 18 of 19. Um, I would say if you ever have a shot to get this bottle, this reserve cast or other reserve casts that are the 6-year variety that's coming out now, which is the actual distillate that Greg has distilled at Bardstown Bourbon Company and aged. Uh, and the aging conditions for these particular barrels, these aren't the barrels that Greg picked out by hand. That comes out next year. But this is what he did distill and put in. I believe he purchased barrels and he specifically gave them specifications to how to make them. And honestly, this, I believe, Greg's distilling expertise plus the aging climate in Kentucky for aging bourbon right now is spectacular. I mean, all I got to say is look at the color on that. That is amazing. Very, very good. So Yeah, I would say it's a competitor for Bourbon of the Year. This year, one of our competitor are in the competition. Very, very enjoyable. Um, and it's like, hey Nash, you're on your phone right now. You can share it. That's all I got to say to that. It doesn't. You don't. You can't. You just because you're not on it doesn't mean you can't share it. Uh, anyways, well, we're up to three. All right. So, thank you, Greg, for making such fantastic whiskey. We got to give a shout out to Old Louisville for sponsoring the Barrel Bash, Old Louisville Whiskey Company, and Amin Carr there for sponsoring the Barrel Bash segment of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys podcast. All right. So, um, we are going to be going down to Bourbon on the Banks starting tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. I'm leaving. We are going to be at Whiskey Thief. Whiskey Thief is our newest sponsor. Fantastic. We already went through all that stuff. But this sponsorship with Walter Zausch, the owner of Whiskey Thief, and then all the people there, Hannah, Kelly, Derek, all the people that we met over the years. This is a very, very exciting sponsorship for me. The fantastic whiskey, fantastic experience, and they are going to be a big part of Bourbon on the Banks, along with the Spirit of French Lick, our other sponsor. They should be there, I believe. So I have not talked to Laureline or Brooklyn, but they've been there the past couple years, so I look forward to seeing them. This is Bourbon on the Banks, which is a yearly first weekend of October bourbon festival in Kentucky, Frankfort, Kentucky, right on the banks of the river down there in Frankfort, right next to Buffalo Trace, right down the street. You can't go wrong. The festival is a one-day festival. I always find that one day festivals aren't enough, but this festival, although the festival for the bourbon and the tents and the tasting and everything about it, that part is fantastic. Tickets are available throughout, but you got to get them a little bit beforehand because by this time they have what they call a twilight ticket where they let some people in, a certain amount of people in to taste through the whiskey for the last couple of hours. Uh, I understand. For me, 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock 5 hour festival for bourbon, and then all the different places just isn't enough time. But for the average whiskey drinker, it absolutely is just a fantastic festival. But uh, this festival, what's very unique is they involve Frankfurt almost directly with them. All the different bars, the Frankfurt Bourbon Society, they're all and the restaurants are all coinciding for this one great weekend that starts tonight, and then goes all the way through Sunday. So this where you got to get down there if you can. If you've already planned to go, it looks like it's going to be spectacular weather. A lot of the things about the festival is pick the what I like to do is say hi to the people that you kind of know, go around there, and then as you're walking through the festival, you want to pick the different bourbons that you've never heard of, or you've heard of but you've never tasted, and go visit those tents and taste those bourbons. Find out who their story. You're going to have people. In some cases, you have the people who make the whiskey or the distillers. In other cases, you have the distributors. But overall, you're gonna this is a fantastic way of finding out what bourbons you would like to buy in the future and which ones you don't align with your palate. Um, it's sad for me because most everything aligns with my palate. So there also is buying ability to buy bottles there. Last year I was able to get the Bardstown Bourbon Company's Carter release. Fantastic. The James E. Pepper did a nice release there also. And you get to taste, and if in these cases, if you like it, you can buy it. So it's a fantastic festival. I hope everybody out there um, you know, comes and sees us. It would be a great thing to meet you. That's what we like about this festival. Like I said, we're going to have our merchandise there, our Scotchy Bourbon Boys t-shirts, our Scotchy Bourbon Boys Glen Cairns. You can stop by, say hi, meet us directly. We do a podcast. We'll do a couple podcasts right from the tent, bring all of our equipment and get that working. And hopefully this is another fantastic, the weather looks like it's working out, and this should be another fantastic festival. This is the ending. Well, we do still have the Ohio Craft Festival, which I believe is October 19th, that we'll be going to. So between the last month, three festivals in a month, we do really enjoy uh, learning about whiskey. A lot of these places, they're the people there have such a good knowledge of their brands. It can't go wrong. Plus, you get to taste it. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. This one, yeah, Martin, we're gonna miss you, and Greg, thank you for the kind words, but thank you also for making such freaking awesome whiskey. So, with that said, that's what tonight's podcast is, because I got to get going and get down there. So that means I got to tear down the podcast studio, pack it up, and get it ready to load into the car tomorrow. Just remember, everybody, we've got the Lillian Sinclair and the William Dalton from our barrel picks. So if you're interested in tasting this and seeing whatever, you just got to just contact me on Facebook Messenger. Fantastic bourbons. And then Old Louisville, make sure you check them out. And then Whiskey Thief Distillery, make sure you check them out. Rosewood Bourbon and Rise, make sure you check that out. And then also, if you see Alan Bishop around, make sure you tell the Bish hi for me. All right. With that said, everybody, remember, good bourbon and good friends equals good times. Don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly, and live your life uncut and unfiltered. Little Steve-O is going to take us out.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
All right, we're off there. Matt, you're not too late, but cheers. But I gotta pack up and go to Bourbon on the Banks, so I'm gonna be cutting this one off. I'm gonna go cut off YouTube real quick. It didn't seem to be. I must have done something wrong tonight, because that did not. There was something that happened that killed this one. All right, let's see. It's almost like it wasn't the right, like I got on the wrong time. Let's see.